With us today is Tommy Reynolds, and I got Tommy Shane Dienst sitting next to me. I was going to play Tommy two-tone since we got two Tommies in the house. It was going to be Jenny, but we're going to skip that since we ran out of time. With that, I'm going to hand it over. Go ahead, Tommy.
Great, thank you. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about today is the Pentair Pool Builder, and there's a little story behind the Pentair Pool Builder, and so we'll get started with that. So my story is I was a consumer getting a pool built, and I was working with my pool builder to through that journey of a pool build experience. And there was just several things that I went through that I thought we should be able to do a little bit better. So he and I collaborated on a concept that we had, and it eventually got some legs, and we shared it with one of the Pentair reps, and then the Pentair rep thought it was a good idea and brought it up to the Pentair leadership team. And then today, now Pentair is the proud owner of the mobile pool builder, now Pentair Pool Builder solution. So the target audience for the Pentair Pool Builder are the Pentair Pool Builder family. So anyone that's a Pentair in the Pentair family, you can take this product as a back office product to help you manage your entire operations of your pool build experience. So we'll kind of just get started. So what is Pool Builder? It's an application that's accessible over the internet by dealers, builders, and customers. The application delivers a unique set of features specific to the pool construction process and the pool management process. So what's the vision? So the vision for us is to create a platform that hosts a suite of applications which deliver a set of services for the builders, the customers, and through these desired pool interactions. And a pool interaction could be just some unique experience that we're going to deliver or feature that we're going to deliver to the dealer and or to the consumer. So simply put, it's a back office tool used to streamline sales, the construction management for builders. It has a mobile and web app to it. It's for the customers, employees within that organization, and the contractors. We combine sales and the construction process into a single application so that the builder can rely on a single system with a unified back end where the information is shared and tracked easily. So all features of the Pentair Pool Builder has been inspired. So these are inspired features that we have from our dealer network. So no one really kind of gave us a set of specifications and said, go build this. What we've done is kind of worked with our pool builder community and to understand what the problems and real challenges that they have as builders and come up with a unique set of features and a solution that we can deliver to the market. Okay, so how does it work? Okay, so a pool builder will have a mobile application, contractors have a mobile application, the consumer has a mobile application, and we also have a camera option that's part of this solution. So they all connect through this connected experience over the internet. So anywhere you have internet access, you have access to the data and the information that's being collected and or transacted through this platform. Okay. So some of the overview of the models and modules and features that we have. So we have a sales module, a construction module, finance, as well as a system. So let's take a look at the sales. So under sales, we have a lead management, notifications that are sent based on events that happen, a file management process where we can actually store and retrieve files based on that lead. Photo management. So as we go out there as part of a lead, maybe on the first appointment, you want to be again collecting photos and images of the backyard. So we'll be able to put those in a repository. And then we also allow the builders to create a customized sales funnel. And then there's this repository of notes that's collected. So from the construction, you have the scheduling, notifications, file management, photo management, a customized job templates that are for the user, and then you have a remote job site monitoring. From the finance side, what we do is we deliver the invoicing capabilities, draw schedules that are customizable by the builder. Again, we have the notifications. So when does someone need to make a payment? So we'll let the consumer know based on these milestones that are met. And then we also provide QuickBooks online integration. So from a system perspective, we provide contractor and vendor management. We have a customized messaging campaigns. You can manage your live stream, and then we also just have your basic CRM customer management process. So how does this look? So what we've experienced in the marketplace for the common builder, most of them are operating with multiple applications. So they're getting maybe they're invoicing through QuickBooks, maybe they're doing their lead generation through another product, and then they're doing their construction and scheduling through another product. So there's multiple applications involved, and generally that each one of those is incurring some cost. So with Pool Builder, so what we've tried to do is simplify that process. So eliminating some of the multiple applications, the duplicate entry, we built this all-in-one application that a builder can go to and manage their lead process, the construction process, without having to duplicate data entry and/or. So what does that equate to? It simplifies training for new employees that come on. So it's an improved process, and it saves them money over the long period. So one of the key features of the Pentair Pool Builder, one of the things that we did was we put a job site camera on the job site so that we can monitor it remotely. So so what does that do? It improves job scheduling. We see the accountability goes up and improves based on the contractors. They are where they say they are, doing what they say they're supposed to be doing. We have this, our camera will take pictures on intervals, and they get uploaded to a repository for that job. And now we have an album of photos for the duration of for that build. We can create a time-lapse video. So on demand. So if you wanted to create a time-lapse video, you could request it, and our team would deliver a time-lapse video for you. Businesses seem to run a little bit more efficient because now we don't have to make the routine trips to every job site. So the real benefit here I think the purpose of the camera is to improve judgment calls. Do I need to go out there? Do I have to get in my vehicle and make that trip, or can I see what I need to see from the job site camera? So some of the common questions that we would get when we're talking about the job site that we've gotten historically from builders is who should use this? Is the camera really good for me? And what do my customers, what would they think? So the answer to that is yes. So the camera is good for everyone, and the marketplace has been the tolerance level to have video cameras around the home now is widely accepted. So we don't have a lot of pushback on that from that feature. Why should someone use the camera? Again, this is going to reduce the amount of trips that someone has to make to a job site. We can make judgment calls, whether it's related to scheduling, accountability, where people are supposed to, they're supposed to be where they're at. So we know who's where when. Do I need to put a camera on every job? And the answer to that is if you want to. It's not necessary, but the jobs that I would say put cameras on is the ones that are furthest away. So the job sites that are furthest away, put you a camera on there, right? It'll reduce the amount of time that you have to drive and sit behind windshield time. Which jobs need a camera? So the one, again, like I mentioned earlier, the ones furthest away.
Hey, Tommy, question for you.
Yeah.
How many cameras can be put on a job site if the project happens to be something that is very detailed with a lot of vanishing edges or other type of water features and et cetera?
Yeah.
How many cameras can be put on the project?
Yeah, so you can put as many cameras as you want to, is your desire. That we don't limit the number of cameras that you can put on a job site. So if it's a larger job, maybe more detail oriented, you want to have multiple view angles to it. So you can put multiple cameras, and they'll all show up as a collage in a dashboard of cameras.
Terrific.
Mm-hmm. So we'll just kind of go over and see what that. So this is kind of what a view would look like. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to an actual job site, and so you can kind of get an idea of what that would look like. Okay. So now we're looking at as a typical setup, and we can go into a job site. So this is the live job site. I say live, it looks like it's stalled here, but we can try to shell over to another one. Here we go. Technical difficulties. There we go. So again, just some remote shots that you can bounce between, seeing the job sites that you want to see.
A lot of water in that one.
Yeah.
They got a mud pool.
Yeah. Well, and that's part of the making judgment calls, right? What do I need to do to get that job back on track, right? Do I need to can I send my contractors in? Someone need to go pump it out or so forth. So again, the cameras are really meant for judgment calls, and just like we saw there, we can make a judgment call on what actions we need to perform to get this job back on track. Okay, so we'll go back to the presentation now. We'll kind of move to the next. The next feature is the sales funnel. So the sales funnel is a customizable sales funnel. So what does that mean? We don't ask you to adopt to our sales process. You build out your sales process through this sales funnel experience, and then it becomes the application adopts to your process. The sales funnels, it's managed, okay, as the same data is managed between the sales side and the construction side. So what does that mean? All the data that's collected from the sales process will get moved over to the construction process, again, eliminating the duplicate entry that most of the time someone will have to go through if they're managing multiple applications. Where we have the ability to create an electronic folder. In that electronic folder, we'll put all the documents, electronic documents that's accessible for that job site, as well as any photos that we may have attached as part of a site visit. We can also track, notes. So any communications that we want to add to during the sales process, we'll be able to add those notes. And again, they're archived and they're available for review as you go through that sales process, and then also on the construction process. So we kind of tie those two together. So what are some of the common questions that we get from the sales funnel? Can someone else see my leads? That's a common question. And the answer is, we restrict who has visibility to the leads. So if it's a salesperson, the salesperson would only see their leads. They wouldn't see their counterparts. So they'll only be able to manage their leads. Obviously, a manager and or admin would be able to see have visibility to the entire funnel. So they'll be able to have access to it all. Is there a mobile or a tablet app? And the answer is yes. So we actually have an application that's a native application on the device. It's not a website that runs on a mobile app. So this is an actual application. So the user experience is significantly different going through, a website versus a native application. So we do have that available both on the mobile and the tablet. Can I move my leads? So can I move my leads to a dead folder? And the answer is yes, we can. So we can move if a lead goes stale, goes dry, then we can certainly move that over to a dead folder to kind of clean up the sales funnel. Can the system automatically notify me when I get a lead and or when it's aged? And the answer is yes. So if you get assigned a lead, the system will automatically send you a lead notification, and or if you have a campaign set up that maybe a lead is going stale for a little bit. Then you can receive a notification that you need to move forward or take some action to improve the opportunity with that lead. So kind of the sales funnel, this is just kind of a view what it would look like, but I'm going to go over and kind of go to back to the website to kind of give you a more richer experience. So we're going to switch over to the website. And so what you're seeing now is really what the sales funnel would look like. So a lead comes in, you'll set your first appointment, you'll go out there at that first appointment, you'll begin collecting some data. And again, as you're collecting this data, we're building this electronic file so that it'll be accessible from the mobile or web app. Then again, after that first appointment, you'll generally go into design, you'll start designing this. Then from design, you'll go to a presentation or proposal state, and then again, a second appointment, and then ultimately the goal is to try to get them to the contract. So this funnel is set up in a way that you can just click on it and see whatever whatever data you're most interested in. And again, depending on who's logged in, if you're a salesperson, you're only going to see your data. But if you're an administrative, you'll see the entire sales funnel. Okay. And again, the sales funnel, this is customizable. So you don't have to, you're not constrained by, the setup that we provide as a default setup. You can customize your sales experience and how you want to track your milestones. It's completely up to you. Okay. So we'll switch back to the presentation.
Are you a Van Halen fan, by the way?
Am I?
Because I saw some familiar looking names on
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Someone in our crew is. So I never know. It's kind of like Cracker Jacks. I never know what I'm going to get when I'm in a presentation, you know. So they'll put funny things in there. Someone's an Oklahoma fan, and so we get that from time to time. But so yeah, good catch there. All right, so getting back to, so a common problem a pool builder has is communications. And again, that was part of my problem that I had, and the reason I started this journey of mobile pool builder. So the communications is a key aspect of what the builders have to go through. Trying to improve that, manage the customer's expectations, managing contractor availability, managing the weather, managing the entire team, who's where, when. So what we've learned is good communications equals high customer satisfaction. So some of the key features of, so how do we solve for that communications issue that we just talked about? We've created this feature called message campaigns, and a message campaign is a customized message engine that you can customize any content that gets delivered based on some event trigger that happens, and you get to define that. So some of the benefits of the message campaign, as I mentioned, is a completely customizable message. So you control the content, you control when it gets delivered and who it gets delivered to. So whether it's on the sales process or the construction process, you control the audience and how you deliver that message. The ability to send automated email texts, which are event driven. Again, some event just happened, you wanted to let someone know, and you have a campaign created that will take care of that.
Tell me, give us an example of an event.
So let's just say that, for example, we just completed gunite, okay? And once we complete gunite, we want to send out some care instructions to the customer, how they care for that. Maybe we want you to water it. So instead of someone having to go, hey, sit behind a desk and send that email out, we have a message campaign that targets the customer that can deliver those care instructions.
So many times these campaigns can be put together beforehand because they know the process by which they need to facilitate that backyard or the project. Correct. That the homeowner would get reminders and dates and times when they need to start doing some of these campaigns.
Correct. Yeah. And it's really, you're just managing the customer's expectations. And this allows you to do that systematically, as opposed to having to rely on some key individual that's sitting at their computer, sending out these campaigns or sending out messages to the customer. So you have some, again, it's an automated process. The messaging is consistent now. So you don't have to worry about, one person says it this way, another person says it a different way. The message campaign keeps everyone on message. And again, and it's very targeted to the audience that you want to address it to. Okay. So the big benefit here is it reduces the manual processes that people have in place now. I've known of builders that have a dedicated person that's their sole responsibility is to keep customers informed. And so when we launched this message campaign feature, it eliminates, I wouldn't say it eliminates the person, but it certainly reduces what they're having to do as from a manual process. And in the message campaign, again, this is an inspired request that we had from a dealer out of Dallas. He said, hey, if we could really do this, and this was, during the early days of mobile pool builder, if we could do this, this would be really, really, really killer. And so we went back to the drawing board, brought it to my engineers, and we come up with this messaging campaign, and it's been a real hit. So some of the questions that we get regarding the message campaigns is, can I customize the message? Yes. We wanted to get out of the, we had system messages that we were flying out from the system originally, and we thought we were mind readers. And so we were just sending out based on, how we read the business. And what we learned is that we're not mind readers, and we needed to stop doing that and give the control back to the dealer and let them control their messaging. So that was a big hit. Can you attach a file? Yes, you can attach a file to these emails. So as an attachment, again, the messaging is consistent, the delivery is consistent, and then you don't have to worry about, does someone remember to send out the attachment? Can I use this feature as part with my sales guys? Yes, it's a great feature to use during the sales process. Again, during the sales process, there's a lot of high touch interactions with the customer. Again, you're managing the customer's expectations. So a lead comes in, you can create a campaign that says, hey, welcome Tommy Reynolds. Glad you selected us as an opportunity to build your pool. And then you go out there for the first site visit. You can have a message campaign as a follow-up. You deliver the proposal, again, another message campaign. So you can kind of control the messaging that goes out and keep that customer informed. And again, what you're demonstrating is that there's a value in what you're doing and the product that you're putting on it's going to put in place for them.
So Tommy, the consumer, the homeowner, they don't interact with this. If they wanted to do a message campaign back to the builder, they would just do that by typical 2 cans and a string and make that call.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. We do have an app that's, again, the customer can get involved in the app and as part of the construction process, or there's an early app that the builder wants to opt, and it's our Pool Concierge product that is customer facing. We do have 2-way communications in that, so that there's instant messaging that they can go back and forth in that, so it doesn't necessarily have to be through the tin can. So and it provides some visibility to the organization of what's being communicated.
So the builder can actually stair step a program on these different apps or these different ways of communicating with the homeowner, depending on what the homeowner's needs and wants are.
Correct. They
can build that and facilitate that particular understanding.
Yep. Yeah. So that's again, the message campaigns is your ability to kind of carve out your niche and how you want to message to that customer. And building the pool is one thing, but managing the customer's expectations and the content that you deliver. What we know is there's a high customers are high touch customers. They want to know, they want information, good and or bad, and this is a way for them to kind of keep the communication lines open. So we have a blue ribbon on this because this is one of the most popular features that we have here. So we put the Pentair blue ribbon on it. Again, here's a common campaign that would go out. Hey, a phase schedule date has changed, and so what changed about it, from what address to the next, and what's the new date now for me, and what's the reason we changed. And again, this content is controlled by the builder, so they can kind of control how that looks. We also have a snapshot here of how do you add a campaign, but I'm going to switch over to the web application to kind of give you a little bit more an exact picture here. So again, from adding a campaign, the way you create this is you give it a campaign name, something you would recognize, that's easily recognized. Who do you want to target? If there's a sales template or construction template that you want to target, how do you want to deliver this? So do you want to deliver it through email, SMS, in-app, or push notifications? And then once we do select, let's just say we select the standard pool, and then we can select which phase that we want this to go out on. So let's just say we're going to build a campaign that's going to target the excavation phase, and we're going to make this a phase trigger, okay? And when this goes to complete status, okay, who receives this campaign? I'm going to send it to the customer. So, and what's the subject? Now, this is where I get to customize the subject matter. Okay, so Mr., reminder to, here's what's coming up next. And so again, you're just managing that expectations. We have a list of common fields that are used. So if you want to insert a token here, and you can customize that. So, hey, Tommy, here's what's coming next on your job, on your build. So you're trying to keep that in intimate communications, keep them informed, manage their expectations. And again, we know good communications equals high customer satisfaction.
So Tom, you got a question. How does this work with a project where the home is being built at the same time as the pool? Mm-hmm. So we're working with other construction folks mm-hmm. that are in that backyard. Is there synergies there between those other companies that are there that you can message campaign them? You can, and they can respond, or is there an additional interface of any sort? No, so that's a good question. We do have the ability to target someone outside that's not related to this build. Okay, so if you're not related to the build, if you're not the owner, you're not the contractor performing some work, and or you're not the customer, or the technician, then we can add you as a separate point of contact, and we can directly target you as well. And they can respond to that, or the response comes back into this portal with your system?
Yeah, so there's a reply to. So whenever they reply to whoever initiated, or whenever it goes out, that reply to will go into their email box. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we'll get kind of back to the presentation. So, but that's our blue ribbon, Pentair blue ribbon.
So
Tom did a great job.
I'm sorry, Tommy. So that would work the same, for instance, with Dave and his business of Watershape Consulting. That if he was consulting on the job and specking out all the hydraulics and et cetera, if there were some questions of some sort, then he could use this to contact them for answers on some questions that he may have in the installation.
You could, exactly. Again, it's you can deliver content on some event, and again, based on whatever event that you want to trigger, and the content that you're requesting or delivering, and who you want to deliver to. So I think I'm answering your question. Yes, Dave could use it. Again, it's not limited to just internal people or the customer, so you can bring in other folks.
If Dave's guys were out there, or one of the company, the builders guys was out there, and they took a picture and they wanted to send that to Dave, obviously they can just send it directly to him. But can it go through the campaign? It
can't go through the campaign. It cannot.
Okay.
If that contractor or service provider is set up as a contractor and they've been associated to this phase, then they have access. They can open it up, snap the picture and upload it, and it automatically gets uploaded. So they would be part of the vendor network that's created, and then they would be able to download the app and they would be able to log in. They would only see their information, their phases that they're associated with. They wouldn't see anything else.
Thank you.
All right. So,
any questions for you?
Well, one thing I was wondering about is these campaigns. It seems like one logical thing that may happen along the campaign line is approvals, which usually require some kind of a signature. Is there any connection to DocuSign or anything like that where, they are giving that official, traceable signature somehow?
So we don't have that yet. So not through the campaign messaging. It is, we're continuously innovating, and we know that some of the features that we want to be looking at, we do have that feature as part of the draw schedule. So or the change order process. So let's just say we're out, I'm the superintendent, we're out walking around, and you're the customer, and you as we're inspecting your job, you say, Tommy, I really want some more deck here. I could create a change order, send it to you, and then you can electronically sign that change order for me. So then we're able to kind of move it to the next process.
And I noticed one of your vendors in there was Lions Financial. Are they connecting to this for those draws when you're using them for a pool loan? Yeah,
so some of our customers use Lion Financial as part of the financing, or customers use it part of the financing, and there's a specific draw schedule that Lion Financial has with them, and so we built that out, so it's just kind of a default. But yes, they're in the vendor network, and they do get the customers do interact with the mobile pool builder and Lion Financial, as well as obviously the builder, to manage those payments, and trackable. They're trackable as well.
Okay.
So Pool Builder. So what we have here is this. We provided you a QR code for both the app stores, the Apple and Google. So if you want to go and download the app, we provided some information here of how do you get involved. So there's an activation code, so you're going to need an activation. So those are 5 6s. So you can key that in and you can get access. And then the username and password are here. So take note of that, and that will be your access into the mobile app to just kind of poke around and see what's available and what features are there. Just kind of allows you to kind of take a little test run if you're interested. Okay. So finally, we have as part of a 30-day special here, if you sign up within the next 30 days, you'll receive half off of the first 3 months. If you do it within the next 10 days, we're going to give you an additional 10% off. So there's a contact number here for you, 833-713-1500. Select option 2, that just going to get you one of our sales guys. And then just mention the code Wolfpack, and then you'll get the special applied. So, yep. So now, how do you get started? Again, here's some my contact information. Again, the sales, reach out to one of us and we'll get, kind of engage with you and kind of get things discussed and find out what your needs are and see if there's a good fit. I think what you're going to find out is there's a lot here through the Pool Builder experience. There's a lot of options, and this product is built for everyone. So whether you're small or large, you have a place here with Pentair Pool Builder.
And Tommy, if we go back to the application for a minute, can you drill into one of those projects a little bit more? Because it looked like we were looking at a summary of cards, but I would imagine there's some more detail if you.
Yeah. So one of the things here is going to be the big board. Okay. So this is your project management board. So a lot of folks that I've gone into have used a whiteboard. So I would go into a builder, and then the first thing I would notice is they have a whiteboard on the screen. And of course, my mind goes, well, why are we using a whiteboard? That's such older technology. We can use computers. And the response that I would normally get is because it works and it's easy. Okay, so what we did is we came back and created a digital whiteboard, if you will. We call it the big board. And as you can see, every job in every phase is aligned here. And if a phase is scheduled, you'll know that the scheduled date. We did some color coordinating things. So there's 38 phases that are past due, 7 in progress, 1 starting today, and 2's been completed today. So just a quick look from someone that's maybe doing the scheduling is, what's on task and where we need help at. Clicking on any of these will now let me a call to action for plumbing, so I can do something with the plumbing phase. If I need to reschedule it, I can come over and reschedule. So one of the cool features we have, if I go and reschedule it, let's just say I move it to the 29th, it's going to ask me, hey, Tommy, do you want to just up this phase, or do you want to update all the phases that are dependent upon me as well? And if I say just update this phase, again, we're just going to update this phase. We're going to send out the communications. If there's a campaign that gets triggered because of this, folks are going to get notified of that. And then we also allow them, why are we changing okay, so whether it's, hey, payment not received, weather, contractor delay, but now we're going to record a little bit of history. So if you get that phone call from that customer that says, hey, I thought we were going to be finished in 2 months, you have a repository that you can go back to and look at why did we have delays here? And then it will show you all the delays and the reasons. Sometimes it's the customer didn't make the selections in time, right? Or we had bad weather, 2 weeks out of the build. So it allows them to kind of record that information. Okay. So this is the big board. Again, it's designed with the ease of use. You'll notice one of the things when we complete a phase, we hide it, but it's still there if you want to look at it. Okay. These are active tiles on the right-hand side. So if you take a picture, upload it from the field and tag it and pin it, it'll show up as the active photo here on the right. So depending on which job you select, the content on the right will change based on your job selection. So what we know about this job is who the customer is, who the superintendent is, how long this project has been in progress, what their budget was, and how much we've collected. Okay, so real quickly, without having to drill in through a lot, we kind of give you a snapshot. If there was any notes, okay, if there's any photos associated with this build, any change orders, work orders, draw schedules, okay, all of that's with the click of a button. Here's your file repository down here. If you had any files, you can upload if you happen to be there. And if you want to manage checklist and or your punch list. So one of the things the customer can do if they download and participate on the app, as they walk around, let's just say as I did, when I would get home, I'd kind of go in and not necessarily inspect, but just see what cool things that the builder has done, what kind of progress. And ultimately I would see, oh, okay, we got a busted tile here. So I would take it and text him, hey, Brian, we got a busted tile here. So what we wanted to do is start recording that information. So now the customer can submit an issue. It becomes a punch list item. Now it's trackable. Right? So now if the builder loses their phone or the superintendent loses their phone, we don't lose sight of the issue that was reported. Okay. So good questions. And we also provide for those folks who are interested in a calendar view. Okay. We provide this in a calendar view as well. So if you want to look at your calendar, what activity, you can filter it down by phase. You can filter it down by contractor. So if I was looking for, something in electrical, do I have any electrical work going on? Then I would see immediately where it's at.
Is this calendar shareable? Like if you wanted to link it to your Google Calendar or something like that?
We don't do that with this calendar, but we do that with the sales calendar. Because we interrogate the calendar so much of looking and rescheduling things systematically, we have to be in control of the calendar and its completeness. So we didn't do that. We didn't hook this up, but this is accessible over the mobile app. Okay, so anyone that has a mobile app that's associated with any particular job, they would have access to the calendar.
All right. Well, if there's any questions from the audience, go ahead and post them in the Q&A section. I see one just popped up. Rob's asking, to what level does the client have access? Can various team members, like the foreman, schedule work?
They can, so that's controlled through access control. So the foreman could schedule if they're giving the foreman capable to schedule. It happens with superintendents as well. So organizations are generally structured is that we have scheduling going through one person, or the superintendents are managing their own schedules and scheduling that way. So we support both models.
And you had like the value of the project in one of the screens. Is that something that could be turned off for certain employees, like a record level security?
It is.
Okay.
Yep. If you don't have the admins obviously see it, but if there's an accounting reviewer, if you don't have that role, then you're not going to see that data, right? Okay. So it's restricted.
Got it.
Good questions.
Let's see, another question. Leah asks, Dave, there are some questions in the chat box. Thanks, Leah. So let me go to that. Let's see. Chat. Is the cost a one-time fee for the software, or is it subscription-based?
It's subscription-based.
Okay. And I know you had some discounts, the Wolfpack 10% if they do it within 10 days. And what is the monthly cost for it?
Yep. So there's kind of two different. There's the core cost, and then there's the cost with the video. So depending on which option you want to warm up to, the core cost is $250 a month. So it's unlimited users, unlimited data storage. So we're not billing you, say, for every user that gets on, we go up or come down. So it's an easy for us to easy for the builder to budget, easy for us to bill. If you have the video option, then it's $350 a month. Again, you can have as many cameras as you want on your plan. We're not billing you that, so it's just we carved out. We've kind of isolated these two price points. Now, if you're, and that's kind of the Sun Belt pricing. If you're in a climate area that you're only working half of the year, okay, or 7 months of the year, then that price is cut in half for them because they don't have as much activity.
Okay. What kind of setup help or software training comes with this?
Yep. So it's a good question. So as part of the sign up process, the onboarding process, you'll get assigned a partner representative. That partner representative is going to schedule a kickoff call with you. There, we're going to share information with you on managing your expectations. We're going to determine how much help you need and all the training. So there's basically 4 different training modules that get scheduled based on your availability. So we'll provide all the help. Again, you'll have access to your partner representative via email and a phone number. So if you need to pick up the phone and call them, you can reach them.
And the phases, are you able to adjust those if your business model is more limited? I mean, there's some builders that might only do, excavation, steel, concrete, plumbing, and that's it. Good
question. So if you think about a good example that comes to mind is new construction versus remodel. Okay, a new construction, you're going to have a lot more phases. So depending on when you create your job, when you go through the job creation process, you pick your template that you want to use. So if it's and based on which template that you've customized with the number of phases that you want, once you pick that template, we lay down those phases. Now, you're not restricted to those phases. You can add a phase on the fly. Let's just say you have you run into a hard dig and you need more equipment, and so we're going to have to bring in another, some more equipment and or maybe potentially another team. We can add that hard dig phase on the fly and assign it to a contractor. Now it's part of the build process.
Got it. Let's go back to the questions here. Can you develop a schedule-based template? For example, pool only, pool spa project, spa only project.
You can. Yep. You're not limited to the number of templates that you can build out. So pool spa, outdoor kitchen, remodel. So you can define all of those within your schedule, within your template.
All right, Terrence and Kurt got a couple questions about the cameras. Are these Pentair cameras that we have to buy from you guys?
You do. Yep.
So that's the razor blade concept. I see your scam. Right.
Yeah.
So how much are they?
So the cameras are $250 per camera. So you'll get a 6-month warranty on them. Something happens to that camera, we'll replace it within that 6-month period. As long as it doesn't come back with broken in pieces, it's a legitimate a malfunction or an issue with the camera, then we'll replace it. Mm-hmm. Sure. And you can again, I think to Tom's question earlier, you can have as many cameras on a project as you want to.
And Tommy, the pictures that we saw live, those are not the cameras that they will be purchasing. The cameras that you're using are upgraded to.
Yep. So the camera that we were looking at is our version 1 camera. So it was there's that was 3 years ago technology. So the cameras that you'll be providing now will be later the latest greatest technology. So
and those run at night. Yeah. They've got infrared, and they can run 24/7.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. You set the schedule. So on your camera, so you can actually set the schedule. This is really interesting. So let's just go to one of the live camera shots here. If I can refresh this guy, if it comes up here. Okay, well, let's just go to log in. Yeah, I think we lost it here. Okay. Well, so I was just going to show you that you have the ability to customize the experience for that camera. So you can tell it when to come on, when to go off, how often you want to take pictures on intervals, what days you want it to work. So if you only want it to work 5 days a week, then you can program it to work 5 days a week, and that's done remotely. You don't have to go out to the camera to do that. The other thing that we can do with the camera remotely is tune it. So the camera, is going to connect to the customer's Wi-Fi. It does require power, and we do that specifically. We didn't want to make it a battery-operated camera in the event that we didn't want any security concerns at all. So once it's unplugged, we know it's off. So that was part of the design of the camera.
Okay. Does the app sync with QuickBooks?
It does. QuickBooks Online.
Okay.
So it does QuickBooks Online. We haven't ventured down the desktop or enterprise version, but it will do QuickBooks Online.
Very good. Mm-hmm. Let me see if I have any other questions here. It's good there. Let me check the chat box again just to make sure. All right, and those cameras are in stock? Everything's coming soon? Or?
Yeah, coming soon.
Okay.
Yeah, coming soon with the new cameras.
All right.
Yep.
And if someone wanted to get started with this, they could sign up right away, and then the cameras may take a little longer, but your 10-day deal is they're ready to go.
Yeah, yep,
okay.
They're still
That's
valid.
Great.
Correct.
Is there any once the job is done, can you continue using this system for ongoing service issues that may come up in the next couple months or whatever? I mean, usually, like I used to always include 3 months of startup and maintenance because I didn't want to hand over a pool when the plaster was still curing out and chemistry was still a little wild. So I always held on to it for 3 months after we finished the build.
Okay.
I would imagine you could leave this open with your client
Sure.
for that period of time.
Yep.
if you weren't doing service yourself, but your service company that you recommend work to is using it, I suppose they would just start up their own account with the client and they could manage service stuff through this potentially?
Potentially, yes. So kind of to address the scenario you gave. So you get to the end of the build's done, and we want to get the job off the board, and we move it into a warranty period. And during that warranty period, we can again, once we go from construction, we have the ability to link it to another template. So construction is complete. Now we promoted that over to the warranty, the template, and now we see everyone that's in warranty. Again, it'll be tracked just like this. So if you're a 90-day warranty period, then once you get to 90 days on your board, then you would move them out. And you can filter your warranty. So you can come in here and filter by template. So maybe one of them is your warranty template. Okay, so then you would see everyone that's currently in warranty. And again, maybe you have them in warranty period, and then there's a problem that comes up. You can create that phase and then assign it. So then once you get finished with your warranty, you can see all the warranty activity that's been performed.
So Tommy, if the builder supplies full maintenance and repairs and of the backyard, and the warranty is done, they can continue to put them on that maintenance and service agreement of some sort?
They can. Again, the application's customizable to however they want to. It was designed for the build process, but we know that there's other areas that they can use it, different workflows, for example. Sure. So they could create a service record if they would want to. So they could create a job, so everyone on the job would be a service job now, and then they would appear. If I filtered this only by my service jobs, and I could assign a technician to it, then I could see it that way. Again, it's an unintended result. I mean, they can use it for that, but it's really designed. This product has really been designed for the builder. But to answer your question, Tom, it could be done, fairly easily.
Can you pull back up those cards that you had with Van Halen names on them? Those some of the band members.
Yeah. Was that the funnel?
Yeah, I think so.
Was that the funnel here? If I can click on it. I think I'm clicking on it. There we go. Was this
so? Explain some of these three blue dots. What those acronym initials mean?
Yep. So that's anyone that's associated with that sales process. Okay. So with that sales job, you may have a salesman, you may have a designer, you may have a sales manager. So what this is doing these identifiers, you'll see these are contacts, and all the contacts as part of that sales job.
So those are internal employees.
That's correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so if they had a gate code, it would be displayed on there. And is this available in the mobile app also?
It is.
So that when whoever shows up from the job site, or show up to the job site, they can pull this up, get the gate code. And if it's a dog, you would have it that the dog was mean or bad, or you put notes in there that you've got to make sure and close the gate and those kinds of things?
That's correct. Yeah. So if there's a gate code, they're able to capture that as part of the sales process. And again, when it moves from sales to construction, that information flows to the other side, so no one has to rekey that information.
So all of the names on there for the homeowner's name and what have you, they can put everybody's name in there that's necessary in order to, got it.
Yep. And these the names that we have here are really a job name. You don't have to use the customer name if you don't want to. So you can customize your naming convention, but just by default, we put it there. In the event that you have someone that, you don't want to, they don't want their name disclosed, and you could change that accordingly. So you can control that.
So they can customize not only the name, but they can say this is pool built for this year of 2022, maybe the third or fourth or the 80th pool. There's a way they can customize whatever they want to put on that.
Yeah. So we'll also, let's just say maybe these are, we'll have permitting information, permitting authority here. If you're working with a home builder, you can track that. Okay. Again, this is all good information as part of the sales process. So as it's collected, we're identifying these key information points early in the process, and then again, when you get over to the construction side, all that information is retained and maintained.
Yep.
So the nice message campaign could be on Taco Tuesday: salt on the rim and lime on the edge.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got a question from Jeremy here. He says they have the mobile pool builder.
Okay.
Is there a specific number they can call for another walkthrough of the system to answer some specific questions?
Yep. 833-7. Let me pull it up on the slide. Yep, I have it on the
Type
slide.
it in too.
Yep. So it's 833-713-1500. Option 1. So that would be the customer support.
Okay.
Perfect.
And I'll jump back over to the screen here.
Okay.
So I think that's it for questions for now. I guess where you can wrap things up is, you guys have any last words here?
No, just, we're excited to be able to bring this to the Pentair family and bring this solution to the market. We're continuing to innovate. So there's a lot of things that we're working on that we believe are impactful. That's going to be add-ons to some of the features that people have seen today. So just kind of be on the lookout for some additional information coming from Pentair.
Dave, I want to thank you very much for the hospitality. Lauren and Brett back there in your neck of the woods, thank you so much for all your help. It's always a pleasure to be here in the Wolfpack Studios in Solana Beach, California. Yep. And we greatly appreciate everybody's support. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sorry we had a little delay getting ramped up, but it was good information and it went quick, so I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys coming into the studio here to present all this. It's exciting stuff. I think a lot of people will get a lot of use out of this. So hopefully you guys will sign up. And I also appreciate you guys offering the Wolfpack an additional discount on top of the one that you've already given out this month. So get signed up quick if you guys want. Use the code word Wolfpack. You got to do that within 10 days, I think, to get the deal. But if you guys like what you see, I'm sure you guys can reach out to Tommy or anyone else at the number that you see on the screen and talk to a sales rep and get set up with it. That's it.
Yeah, if any of you folks need a visit from one of us, we'll be more than happy to meet with your company and help you out.
Yep, absolutely. Awesome.
All right, any more slides?
Nope, that's it.
I think that's it. All right, thanks guys. Yep. We'll be back next week, but not with a full webinar. After Memorial Day, we're moving to what we call our summer series. It's going to be a series of much shorter little 5-minute videos on quick topics. So no ISET CEUs or anything. You don't need to tune in right at noon. We're actually going to post everything on a YouTube channel that we have set up. So we'll provide more information about that this week, but I've got the first one for the summer getting set up today. So we will be in touch on that. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.